And despite the fact that I've devised a definitive curvature test using multiple reference points to prove that the Earth is flat, I often hear that it can't be proven either way whether the Earth is round or flat. So I'm going to take the flatness test a few steps further and go into a bit more detail to prove once and for all that we're living on a plane. I'm going to stick to using photos of the Kaikoura Ranges in the South Island of New Zealand, taken from Wellington's south coast. This gives us a pretty decent range in terms of point-to-point length, as well as a decent range in heights of peaks that we can use. I've been out there a few times taking panoramas, as the spot's just breathtaking, especially at sunset. On the day I was out taking these shots, the conditions were just about perfect. The further away the mountains are from the camera, the lighter they are. That's because there's more atmosphere between us and the further mountains, so they get kind of washed out. Pretty obvious, but this photo demonstrates it nicely. I'm going to pick out a few prominent peaks and color code them for convenience. And now go to Google Earth and find them. And a few weeks later I've found them. It's pretty hard work, but I'm confident that I have found the right ones. But please don't take my word for it, check for yourself. Everything you need is right here. Once again, I'm going to enter the heights of the peaks and the distance from the camera into a graph. Now I go back to the photo and make a horizontal line at the height of each peak, color coded of course. Since the furthest mountain away is also the tallest, I can just cut it at that point, and where that line meets each other point gives us an extrapolation to a 2D view to count for perspective. So hopefully it'll match up to the lines on the photo again. Let's have a look. And once again, pretty much perfect. I'm guessing refraction's not playing much of a part here. I don't think we get a whole lot over the Cook Strait, judging by my experimentation. And what anomalies you can see there, I'm willing to bet would be a result of Google Earth's measurements. We can't expect Google to have accurate data for every nook and cranny in the Kiwi bush. That's some pretty full-on wilderness out there. Now I'm going to do the curvature calculations for each of those peaks and input that into a graph to do a comparison. Let's see how it looks. As I suspected, it's all over the show. Not only does it not match, but some of the lines have crossed over. Any of you ball lovers out there care to explain that to me? I didn't think so. If we get these scales matched up, we can get a rough idea of how it would look if there were any curvature. I'll leave you with that. I'd have to say, curvature thoroughly busted. Once again. Thanks for watching.